Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts about the Pokemon universe. This is a video series where we go over interesting facts from every individual Pokemon that's out there, starting with, of course, Generation 1, my generation. And we're going to be talking about the very last Pokemons within our generation. We're talking about Mewtwo and Mew. So let's get into 40 facts about Mew and Mewtwo. Mewtwo is a Pokemon created by science. It is a bipedal humanoid creature with some feline features. It is primarily gray with long purple tail. On top of its head are two short, blunt horns, and it has purple eyes. A tube extends from the back of its skull to the top of its spine, bypassing its neck. It has a defined chest and shoulders, which resemble a breastplate. The 3 digits on each hand and foot have spherical tips. Its tail is thick as the base, but thin before ending in a small bud. Mewtwo was created after years of horrific gene splicing and DNA engineering experiments based on Mew. It is said to have the most savage heart among all Pokemon, lacking compassion and striking fear into its enemies with cold glowing eyes. Because Mewtwo was engineered to be the ultimate in battle, it could only think of defeating its foes. In the first movie, Mewtwo was shown to be capable of levitation, telepathy, and mind control. It is also capable of materializing psychic waves in the form of its signature move, Psystrike. Though rarely seen in the wild, it is said to be resting in dark caves. Mewtwo conserves energy by remaining motionless in order to unleash its full power when in battle. In later appearances, Mewtwo was shown to be caring and protective. It still chose to stay away from others, but was less belligerent. According to the scientific logs found in the Pokemon Mansion of Cinnabar Island, Mewtwo was born of a pregnant Mew, found deep in the jungles of Guyana, whose embryo was tampered with to alter its DNA. It was held and studied in the mansion, where a scientist performed horrific gene splicing experiments that made it vicious and extremely powerful. It eventually broke free of the mansion, destroying it, and in the process, fled. One of the Pokemon Mansion's journals states that Mewtwo's birthday is February 6th. The same journal implies that Mew was impregnated with the modified clone, as in real-life cloning. All other depictions show Mewtwo being grown using laboratory equipment. Mewtwo can be encountered in the Cerulean Cave, accessible only after a trainer has proved his or herself in the skills at the Indigo Plateau. Mewtwo stands at about 6 feet 7 inches and weighs 269 pounds. Mewtwo is a Psychic-type legendary Pokemon that is genderless. While Mewtwo has been the Pokemon of focus for many movies and specials, it also made brief appearances in the Battle of the Badges and Showdown at the Pokekoro in its body armor. The first instance was when Giovanni used it to battle Gary's Arcanine and Nidoking. Mewtwo is weak against flying, ghosts, and fairy, but is resistant to fighting and rock Pokemon. Mewtwo was originally depicted as the only member of its species, being a clone of Mew. In the anime and manga, it is implied that multiple Mewtwo's have been created. Mewtwo can be a shiny Pokemon, where the purple changes to green. Mewtwo is a combination of Mew, the Pokemon it originated from, and 2, indicating it is a clone. It also sounds somewhat similar to Mutant. In Pokemon Go, Mewtwo can be caught with the fast attack of Psycho Cut or Confusion, and special attacks of Psychic, Shadow Ball, or Hyper Beam, but of course, nobody has caught a Mewtwo yet. Now let's jump over to Mew and get into 20 facts on Mew. Mew is a pink bipedal Pokemon with mammalian features. Its snout is short and wide, and it has triangular ears and large blue eyes. It has short arms with 3-fingered paws, large hind legs and feet with oval markings on its soles, and a long, thin tail ending in an ovoid tip. Its fur is so fine and thin it could only be seen under a microscope. Mew is said to have the DNA of every single Pokemon contained within its body, and as such is able to learn any attack. As demonstrated by its behavior in the first and 8 Pokemon movies, it shows signs of intelligence, curiosity, playfulness, and even selflessness. Mew is incredibly adaptable, to be able to travel freely in the air and underwater. As seen in Pokemon Snap, it can create a green, yellow, pink orb of energy around itself for protection. Since Mew can make itself invisible at will, very few people have knowingly seen it, leading some scientists to declare it extinct, and most to assume it is only a mirage. It will only show itself to a person who is pure of heart. In the movie, Mew made a couple cameo appearances at the start of the movie. A Mewtwo was cloned from Mew's DNA, extracted from Mew's eyelash. Later, Mew started appearing around New Island, while Mewtwo was testing its starter Pokemon clones. In the Japanese version, Mew's characterization was different. Mew's intention was to wipe out cloned Pokemon, Mewtwo included, because it viewed them as inferior, in stark contrast to Mewtwo, who wished to eliminate natural born. In the manga, Mew debuted in the first round of the Red, Green, and Blue chapter, a glimpse of the glow. In Jinx, Green's Diddy transformed into Mew as an example to Red. It later used this form to lure the Team Rocket grunts away. Mew has been featured on 26 different cards since its debut as one of the Wizards Black Star promos of the Pokemon trading card game. Mew's cards are normally Psychic-type basic Pokemon. In Japan, Mew was featured in the Mirage's Mew Constructor Starter Deck, released in June of 2005, as well as the gift box Mew Lucario, released in November of 2005. Mew is only 1 foot 4 inches and weighs a mere 8.8 pounds. Mew is weak against Bug, Ghost, Dark, but resistant to Fighting and Psychic. Mew shares the move Transform with Ditto, along with sharing the same shiny color and the same weight. In addition, in Pokemon Yellow, Ditto can be encountered in the Pokemon Mansion on Cinnabar Island, where diary entries on Mew can be found. The name Mew may be derived from Meow, meaning strange or unusual, or Mew, the sound a kitten makes, referring to its cat-like appearance. Or it may be a combination of mysterious and new, considering that it is mysterious and newly discovered. A shiny Mew, like stated before, is a light blue all over. Mew shares its appearance to the live animal, the Jaroba, a hopping desert rodent found throughout northern Africa and Asia east to northern China. It is believed by scientists to be the ancestor of other Pokemons, which along with its resemblance to an embryo, may be a reference to the recapitulation theory. In Pokemon Go, Mew can be captured with the fast attack Pound, and special attack of Hurricane, Earthquake, Psychic, Dragon Pulse, Thunder, Moonblast, Fire Blast, Solar Beam, or Hyper Beam. Its base stamina is 200, its base attack is 220, and base defense is 220, one of the very strongest Pokemon in Pokemon Go. And those were a total of 40 facts about Mew and Mewtwo. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below and tell me what Pokemon you guys want to hear about next. We're going to try to do every single Pokemon, and depending on which ones you comment, we'll get to that one first. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, because the more subscribers, the more likes we get on this video, the more Pokemon videos we can put out. Thank you guys so much for doing that, and I'll catch you in the next one. This was Gershwan with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.